Natalie really had a whole screenshot and everything.
So what's this?
Yes,
What's
DTB
this?
was right next to you, girl. She really tried to make it seem like I was here, she was there, we weren't in the same. You guys look like y'all were in the same section.
Mm-hmm.
You were partying with her, and even Dolly and like they was just like, yeah, nah, Jayla, you really was
You
there.
lost.
Yeah. Nah, Jayla, you lost, girl. You was there. And Jayla was really trying to make it seem like no, but girl, there's receipts.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters. I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jesse Strange.
And we are back at it again with another episode, y'all.
Yup, we back. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
we are. So
Got
if you
coffee in
guys,
me.
oh God, is that type of time?
Hell yeah.
Okay. If you guys are new, welcome to the Petty Headquarters. We are a pop culture podcast where we talk about reality TV, pop culture, celebrity drama, and of course, people come back for baddies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodness.
So, welcome. That is who we are. That is what we are about. And if you are returning, what up, Petty Posse? Welcome back.
Yeah, Petty Crash Outs, Petty Posse.
Period.
What up?
So-
Always a pleasure having you guys in the comments. Definitely see y'all.
Yes.
You know, even though I can't always respond to everybody.
Yeah,
but
we definitely can't always respond, but we see it and we be commenting on it like in the next few episodes. So let's just get into this week's dose of mess.
yeah, so it seems like we're getting into the seasons, the last few episodes of the
Yeah.
season. So
Yeah.
you know how it goes, right? And you know what's funny is that I felt this way. I'm going to share my thoughts before we get into the recap. But, you know, I always find it funny that since Baddies Midwest, Zeus had to find a better way and always a bigger and grander way to end the season because of
Baddies West with Stunna and Tommy.
Sorry,
right? Yeah,
Baddies West. Exactly, with Stunna and Tommy. Because what happened? There was a pew pew shootout.
Pew pew.
Yeah. I did have suspicions on this being conveniently saved towards the end. And I cannot wait to get into this episode because obviously we're going to talk about the Biggie and this girl who I find out her name is Ciroc, who she ends up being brought back later on in the next episode. So
Are you
I'm excited.
serious?
Yeah, I'm excited to get into it because it's not to say I'm excited, but it's a good conversation to have, I guess.
Yeah.
But also, this fucking episode was so boring.
I didn't think it was that boring. I thought it was funny.
It felt like a filler episode to me.
Okay, I could see how you say that. It definitely gave filler,
Yeah.
but it was still entertaining.
Okay, well, anyways. But yeah, so we start off with Biggie getting into a fight with
A random stranger.
the outsider whose
Yeah.
name is Ciroc.
Oh, now, yeah. I guess
She
now
has
we
a
know the
name.
Yeah.
Mayhem is happening. Chaos all over.
Yeah, yeah.
Hookahs flying off the table,
Yeah,
breaking.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anna is running, trying to see what's going on, trying to protect Biggie. Island Boy in the back in a red shirt.
for real.
How the fuck, Island Boy? Why are you here? Like, that was the first thing I thought. I'm like, Island Boy, why are you here? Like,
First thing I thought too. I was like, what the
what you doing here? Like,
OD, and then
Yo.
also Anna running for Biggie. Best of friend.
Yeah.
And that's the same energy she wished Biggie gave her because that's who Anna is as a person.
Yeah.
And, you know, Biggie calls cops.
Well,
Rightfully so.
Well, yo, nah. In this situation, I feel like it's needed.
No, for sure.
Yeah, because people need to have consequences and learn their lesson because people can argue and say, oh, well, which is a comment that I saw on the last episode that, random people always attack the girls on Bad Girls Club all the time. But I feel like those situations were very different. Those weren't constructed situations or people knowingly, consciously doing it to get cast on a show.
Right.
Those were just shit that happened because everybody was drunk.
Right.
This there have been multiple times where we've seen on and outside of the show where people randomly run up on these members, these cast members, just to get on the show because I guess it's happened before.
Well, we've seen it even firsthand, not even to get on the show, but let's be even more specific, to get on to the PHQ. So a couple of weeks ago, maybe last month, when the auditions came out, we had chosen 2 people that we know that went to the auditions to vlog their experience. And when we posted that, you saw a few DMs come in saying, hey, by the way, I went to the auditions and I have a fight with...
Or I also have this beef. And it's like...
And it's like, it just seems more opportunistic.
Yeah.
Rather than it being anything else.
Right.
Like,
right.
oh, yeah, I have beef with so-and-so. I'm not going to name this specific person, but this specific baddie... And it's a stupid ass reason, but I'm like, the point, just because you have beef does not mean we want to platform you, because that's not the point.
Right.
First of all, I don't fuck with that, period, point blank.
Right.
But also the conversation changes a little bit when you find out that this person, Ciroc, was somebody's friend rather than somebody who just wants to get casted onto baddies, which I also think is fucked up.
Which brings me to... you know, the same narrative that everyone said, even with Bad Girls Club. Did production set this up?
Well,
did the network set this up? Was she friends of someone that works at the network? Like, whose friend is she?
She's Tommy's friend.
Okay, great.
She's Tommy's friend.
Tommy's friend, right.
And, or I believe that's Tommy's friend. And shout out to Messy Mayan, but... I saw her video today and she showed the live that Mariah had done after that filming. And in that live, Mariah had talked about how her, Tasiki, Anna, and Biggie were supposed to come into the club together, into the venue together.
Yeah, I caught that in this episode.
Yeah, and... production told her no, that Biggie wanted her shine, so she's got to walk in by herself, which led me to really conclude the same gut feeling I had. Like, oh, how interesting. What a coincidence that all this mayhem is happening towards the end of the season, because why wouldn't it, right? It needs to be better than the last. That's how they see it. That's how shows are. And then to find out that Ciroc comes in on the next episode, it's giving pre-planned for sure.
For sure. So going back to, you know, just the whole chaos happening, Biggie makes a comment in her confessional and she says that, you know, as the Baddies brand is growing, she feels like girls are just getting, you know, way more disrespected, and these girls are becoming disrespectful because they also want to get cast on the show. And it's just, there needs to be more security, there needs to be more accountability and protection. And yeah, she confronts a random guy too that I guess that was with that group where the whole chaos was. That the same guy that threw a chair?
No.
It was a different person.
No, I actually saw it wrong. I didn't see the chair. The only person that threw the chair was Low London.
Right, that was in the next one, which is this episode that just dropped.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, so she's like going up to him, you know, she's upset. He's like lightly pushing her off.
Yeah, she don't know who to go for because obviously she's hot. Like, she's heated. Yeah. Which I also want to touch on something. I would love to clip this, but I saw what happened to Sky Santana, who's also a commentator in this.
What happened to Sky Santana?
Zeus Network has been striking his stuff down. He got like 2 strikes in a row. Yeah, because the bigger you get, obviously, the more attention. And supposedly he feels like they don't like what she has to say. So I would like to clip this, but we're going to keep this intimate. We're going to keep this between the podcasts. If you hear it here, but I thought about it too. This whole Biggie situation. Biggie is the first artist to sign onto Zeus Music. And there was this picture and people were in the comments, which I thought was funny. It said Biggie and the new Biggie and Diddy. And I thought it was interesting because in this scene right here, you see the abuse of, not the abuse, you see the fact that, you know, at the end of the day, Lemmy is producing, makes the calls at the end. Yeah. So he puts these girls through this chaos, kind of like what Diddy did with Tupac and Biggie, and how he made it seem like there was this beef when there really wasn't. It was all him being the puppet master at the end of it.
Yeah.
And essentially it's the same thing. So I think it's funny and interesting how, you know, again, I like to make the connection. We all say, oh, one day there's going to be an exposing Zeus. And I genuinely believe that the bigger this franchise gets, the more and more this guy ends up following in the footsteps of Diddy. And I genuinely believe that. And, you know, like I said, I would like to know what you guys have to say about that, because it's freaky, especially with the whole music thing. Once the whole music thing, like, you just put the same girl you just signed on, you just set her up to get beat up. And that's that psychological abuse that people go through with this company, with this franchise, with everything. And it's like crazy. It's crazy to me.
Do you think at some point there'll be a difference between the label, Zeus Network music label, and Zeus Network production and Baddies? Is there a difference? Do they draw the line? Do they have boundaries to, you know, differentiate the two so that they can be different from one another?
Well, you, out of all people, know brand strategy and branding as a business. You tell me, as somebody who
They're not
specializes, right? You kind of just carry that onto all things, right? That's your brand.
Yeah.
And it gets meshed with. And look, we don't have to think far. Look at what Diddy did.
But also you see that, okay, so this is interesting. I feel like we're going off a little bit.
That's okay.
When I saw that post of Biggie saying that she's the first ever signed with Zeus Music, I did see Natalie comment under that talking about, oh, Kill Killer's also signed with Baddies. And I'm like, there's another label called Baddies.
Oh, that's the difference. I was wondering what the difference was.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. Like, is she, okay, Cold Killer's the first baddie to be under the Baddie music label. So does Natalie also have her own label with, like, is that the same under Zeus Network? Is that different? I have no idea.
I could see that being different.
I could see it being different too, but you're still work for and with Zeus.
The Baddies franchise.
Right.
Though.
So how does that work?
Oh, well, that's a good question. And
That
like
is a great question.
I wouldn't know, but like I said, I thought that was interesting that the whole music thing and, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to the crazy fucking shit show that happens, right? Everybody is just causing mayhem and chaos and ruckus. And then Sapphire suddenly, you know, with the girls, she's saying that she saw people running and ducking.
Yeah. So,
and, you know, she immediately takes off and she's telling the girls, everybody's like, yo, why people ducking? Like, and now there is speculation, even though we didn't hear it, which is why I'm wondering, is there more leaked footage on someone's live or something online where maybe gunshots went off and we don't know about it? Because you have people ducking and running, and then Sapphire says it, Anna says it, then the girls are escorted out, then Rolly says it in her confessional.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder, was that night more chaotic than we see right now?
Maybe, but I guess maybe if they caught it, they would have shown it, because that's Zeus Network for
It's true. That's why I was like, but then again, I don't know, because we didn't see the security guard, but I don't know who's involved, but you're right. If it was the case, we would have seen something. But
yeah, and you know, it's so funny because the girls were on the couch when this was happening. So obviously they're like, what was it? Janelle was like, from experience, I'm ducking, head down. And I thought that was interesting. But while all the chaos is happening and before they ran off, the panning between the fighting and Natalie's face looking so unbothered. So like just another day on The Office.
No, for real. That's what she looked like. Even in her confessional, she's just like, yep, the baddies are out.
Right.
Like, she just so unfazed. Like, she's just like, okay.
But I wonder if she's unfazed because she knows that the danger truly isn't that real. Like, think about it. Your natural fight or flight instinct in a real life situation would, like, you know what I mean? It would be to like be on alert. But the fact that Natalie is so like unbothered, it kind of feels like, going back to the narrative that I was thinking, and the gut feeling was this was all planned by production, and she kind of got a heads up about it.
Maybe. I have no idea. I guess I don't know anymore with the way that she's moving and separating herself little by little. So I have no idea. But that is an interesting speculation because she always be looking mad unbothered. Mad unbothered.
So desensitized.
I think, yeah, like that's really what it is. Super desensitized.
So now at this point, Biggie's slapping her face. She's like, look at me.
He said, look at my lips.
Yeah.
My lips mad big. How you miss? How you miss? She talking mad shit, yo.
She is off the walls, heated.
She is. I don't blame her. Do not blame her. So the girls get escorted out and you hear Rolly in the back telling Scotty to be careful because, again, ducking and dodging. Nobody knows, like, if there's a shootout or what's going on. So then they go up to this Biggie, right? And Anna, they go up to this random girl who's basically telling them what she saw and what happened.
That's right.
And security is like trying to tell Biggie to chill because I guess Biggie was on 10. But it turns out that girl, she wasn't really trying to like harm her. She was just they were trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, she was trying to say that she like recorded it or something, right?
And then in this conversation, you hear that same girl say that she saw that Low London was recording while this person attacked Biggie.
Yeah.
So now Biggie is like, Low London, me and her got into it on New Year's. So now, of course, you're in a survival, you're trying to fight or flight moment, right? And she's in fight right now. She's just trying to survive. Immediate thing is, oh, did you do this? Is that your friend? Because now they're saying, oh, it could have been Low London's friend. So now she find Low London. She sees her and immediately attacks her.
Start going off, yo.
Yo, she was throwing shit.
Yo, London grabs the chair, throws it at her. Someone in the background throws glass.
Yeah, one of her friends.
Mariah says she almost got hit in the face with the glass.
Yeah, Biggie throws glass back. Like, it is a shit show. So now this is like really wild. So
because they're all trying to fight now.
Yeah,
now
Mariah,
it's Mariah,
Tasiki, Anna, and Biggie.
Mariah was like, oh, you know, when we can have our beef, but when we outside, we stick together.
Exactly.
Which is facts.
Now, this is where I kind of started to feel like Biggie was set up. You hear Tasiki say, y'all sent her in there by herself. That's crazy. And she keeps saying it over and over. Like, why would y'all do that? So it's so funny how even though I didn't see that live that you said Mariah had or Messy Maya showed on her page. But because I heard that, I was like, oh, this is telling me that this was kind of a setup. Because why would Tasiki keep saying that over and over and over in the back?
Right, especially if they came on the same car together.
Right.
Which I find interesting.
So now, as the girls are walking out because they're getting escorted out, there's a brawl. Biggie starts fighting somebody. I don't know who, but it's a shit. You know, Biggie's heated. It's a brawl. Like,
the whole there's just heads blurred out, beds everywhere, fight movement.
Yes, there's fight movement.
Everything.
So
you can't really tell what's going on. It's just chaos. And Tasiki's tight.
Yeah, she's upset. She's upset. Everybody's upset. They're outside, and you know, they're just Biggie's going off outside of this club venue or whatever. And then you hear one of the producers or security guards, whoever that is, say to the girls, get in the Sprinter now. It's time to go. We're leaving. Get on the Sprinter, which I thought was interesting. So with when I heard the tone and voice of that guy saying get on the Sprinter, it makes me wonder, is there something else that they're leaving out that we didn't see? I don't know, like, even though I know you say, oh, if there were pew-pews, like they would have showed it, but I don't know, something feels like it's missing from this scene that will connect everything that we didn't see. That's why he going off talking about get on the Sprinter now. Like, you know, what did y'all edit out? I feel like something was edited out of that scene there.
I could see that. I'm also curious to know and waiting to find out if they put, and this is where I'll circle back to this conversation, because I want to know if they actually put the part where Tommy hurts the person in the audience.
That's what I wanted to know too, because I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it, and it's about damn near this is the last show. So if it happened in the last show and they show it, then I say, okay, maybe they didn't edit out anything. But if they don't show it because of liability issues, then I will say that you're absolutely right. Something was edited out, probably that would hurt Zeus Network.
Right.
As long as it don't hurt them, they're going to post it, talk about, we post the truth, nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
Until it's something that incriminates them.
Exactly. So that's why with this whole scene, it felt like it was very choppy and all over the place. And it felt like something was missing.
Mm-hmm.
So then they end that scene and we go straight into the next day.
Yes.
Right? We go straight to see Killa and Fauna talking about Tavii. Fauna says that she feels hurt and betrayed by her.
Yep.
You know, Killa says that she was tired of them arguing every day. It's too much.
It was funny though, because when Fauna was like, yeah, you know, I'm hurt by the situation, Killa goes, now you hurt. Yeah. I'm like, yo, she really don't care about this. Now you hurt.
No, she really did do that. She really did say, now you hurt. She really did.
It's like, damn, Killa.
No, I know. She don't care. Even in her confession, she said, Fauna, smack her.
Right.
Smack her.
She's crazy.
Tavii, you cool, but smack her. I was like, yo, I'm weak.
That shit is crazy.
Basically, long story short, Fauna says that her and Tavii can no longer be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
Scotty joins this also.
Scotty does join this. But before Scotty joins, we see Biggie, Mariah, Tasiki, and Anna meet up. It goes into the next scene, and Anna talks about how there's an event later with Low London and Natalie hosting. And they're saying they not showing up. None of them are going to go. Biggie says she's suing and calling the cops. Obviously, Mariah Lynn is like, I wouldn't do all that, but I support Biggie. And it's so funny because Mariah's like, if we go to this event that Natalie and London are hosting, we're going to jail. And then Biggie said, no, that bitch is going to jail. And that's when we get into that conversation of her being the first baddie to like sue an audience or sue someone that's really trying to like do the most.
An outsider, yeah.
So then this is where we go back to Fauna and them, right?
Order's a little off, but still, it's all right, it's fine. Because Scotty does join them. And then this is where she recaps with them, like how she was like curious to know if they both still felt how they felt now that they're not lit. And, you know, they're both still standing on it.
Fauna is saying, though, that she felt like her delivery could have been better.
For sure. But she still felt how she felt.
What she said. Yeah, like she's not changing it. She wanted to say that. She just wished the delivery was different.
Right.
But this is what I'm telling you. I feel like she would have said that regardless. She was just lit. So it came out crazy.
She said it was a volcano.
No, it really was. It really was. I thought this was weird. So you let me know if I'm bugging.
Okay.
When we go back to the scene with Anna and them, right? They start talking about Lex.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I didn't get it either.
They said that they got to give some of the girls flowers. I guess maybe because Lex has a tendency of just hopping in and defending and doing what's right. They want to give Lex her flowers and
But what
shit.
did she do?
I don't know. Maybe something that had to do with the night before that wasn't caught on camera. Because
maybe
Lex always does that. Like, and that's something very in character of hers. Because they were like, at some point, somebody said she's a girl's girl, and I'm like, she is. Like, she does the right thing. Like, when she sees an unfair fight, she'll step in and not to beat you up per se, but just to separate and to kind of be that guard. So. I don't know why they said that. Maybe something that happened the night before that we don't see.
Yeah, because I was just confused. I'm like, why are y'all talking about Lex now all of a sudden? And then Anna is like, Lex, she got it, but she's hesitating a lot. Like, she's stuttering a lot, like not really getting to her point. So I'm like, are you inviting Lex into your clique because everyone else is on board or what?
I think it might have been something that she did. And throughout the season, she's kind of, for Mariah, didn't she step in for Mariah earlier this season?
This was caught on camera for DJ Sky and her friend.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't want DJ Sky to jump in.
That's what it was, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like it's been an accumulation of things. You know how it takes a while for the clique to kind of open up to new people?
Yeah.
That's what it was giving, but I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God. So then Fauna, she says that her and Tavii cannot be friends anymore. And let's not forget, like, Killa did say that Tavii didn't have our backs when it was me, you, and K. Rican.
Yeah.
Everybody was going against us. So why do I need to have her back? Like,
yeah, and Fauna said that she forgave her for that. She forgot and forgave her for that, which is true. I mean, clearly Killa was never fucking with Tavii because the fact that she even brought that up, that was from like last season. You know what I mean?
But like even the way they started, they been had beef from jump. So why would people kill and forget about all that between
that's
her
true.
and Tavii.
That's
Like, just
true.
because we do a season together, why would I forget about that?
Mhm.
Like, you know, I'm cool with Fauna and K-Regan. I was never that cool with you to begin with.
That's true. That's true.
Which she made that very valid in this episode. I was like, you know, I forgot about that. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. So now we see New Sky, Tommy, and Summer meet up. Now, Summer tells Tommy that the girls is talking shit about her, saying that she set her friend on Biggie, that was Tommy's. Yo, Summer's so
Bro.
funny, yo.
Tommy talking in this scene, bro.
Yo.
There's got to be like a little clip of just her just saying a whole. I don't even know what
Nothing.
she is
Nothing.
so funny.
saying nothing.
She's saying nothing.
Absolutely
It
nothing.
just sounds.
No, literally, just
Yeah.
sounds. No, for real, yo.
What the fuck is wrong with Tommy? She didn't always talk like that. Like she always talked like that.
No,
She always
did
talked like
always
that.
Talk like that.
But like I feel like this season in particular,
maybe it's drugs.
she's been like a little bit more hard to understand.
It might be drugs, girl.
I think so.
Yeah. I think that's all it is. It's drugs.
Because I feel like all the other seasons, she always spoke like this, always very in character of her, very funny, very like, you know, no accountability. All that is true. But I feel like this season in particular, I can't make out anything she says, anything at all.
Yeah, she's always high or on some shit or drunk. Like, and I think that's what we're hearing. Even when she performed on stage, she sounds like she's always intoxicated.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
really what it is. So Tommy basically denies sending anyone on Biggie and just denies all of it and says that she's done with Biggie. And she continues to say that she don't feel like she need to apologize for anything because if she said it, then that's how she felt and she don't need to apologize for that, which again, Tommy Lee stuck in her ways.
Right.
You just know what it is. That's what it is.
Exactly.
At this point.
And so now it's the next scene where like Nat invites her favorite girls to
This was so funny.
to confront them because she says she's tired of the fake shit and that she gonna be honest.
I think this whole scene, this was the funny part for me in this entire episode. Like that scene had me weak. I just couldn't believe it just kept going.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, you know, like you said, she said she doesn't want to be fake anymore. And she goes on. What is the first thing she talks about?
Nat wants to talk about how the girls went out the night before. And, you know, she mentions how they were at the brunch. They were at a brunch. They ran up her tab. She paid more than $1,000. She says she got no problem with spending bread on the baddies. However, when they go out the night before and she gets no invite, and this was the event with DTB, Anna, she feels some type of way because you're gonna have brunch with me, but you're not gonna send out an invite. And then at this point, this is where she confronts Jayla. Which let's talk about this because Jayla folding is so interesting to me.
It's the fact that there was receipts and she still was trying to be like. That was the funniest part for me. Natalie really had a whole screenshot and everything.
So what's this?
Yes,
What's
DTB was right next to you, girl. She really tried to make it seem like I was here, she was there, we weren't in the same. You guys look like y'all were in the same section. You were partying with her, and even Dolly and like they was just like, yeah, nah, Jayla, you really was there.
Lost.
Yeah. Nah, Jayla, you lost, bro. You was there. And Jayla was really trying to make it seem like, no, but girl, there's receipts.
Right.
I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I was like, girl, I don't know. I really don't care. What do you think about Jayla folding?
So I thought it was interesting because obviously Natalie, you know, confronts Jayla like, oh, you didn't have my back. You know I don't fuck with DTB. You know what she did to me, but you don't have my back, which I thought was interesting because it's like, Natalie never has anyone's back.
Nope.
Natalie didn't have her back when Lex was fighting Jayla or when Gretch bit the shit out of her during the reunion. Never had Jayla's back ever.
It's always, I didn't see, I didn't know.
Yeah. So I found it interesting that she expected that from Jayla.
Yeah.
It's very picky and choosy, one. But then two, Jayla first of all, her little smirk, her little nervous smirk made me laugh because I was like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? But then for her not to be honest with Natalie, like at this
Yeah.
point, I would have been like, you know what I mean? Tell her the truth. Like, well, you never
she
had my
already
back.
Caught you red-handed. There's the picture. You're dead ass right next to DTV.
But that too. But also, it's like, why lie about being with DTV? But also, two, tell Natalie the truth that she's never had your back.
I feel like they've been down that road so many times, though. Like we've seen this argument over and over, and I feel like it's tiring. It really is, and I think. We see Jayla this season. She's also protecting her peace. You realize, like, even when she says she didn't see anything, she didn't hear anything when she was on the plane.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. She's just like, I see how you're moving, Natalie, and I'm just going to move accordingly.
And that's what that smile gave me.
That's it.
That was the, oh, I see what you're doing here
and
smile.
that's it. And I think that Jayla is just going to do the same thing she did. Play stupid.
Okay, well, that makes sense. But that also makes sense why Scotty clocked her when she did that. Because you see how Jayla can be, same way Janelle was, you know?
Right.
That's why Scotty also clocked Janelle.
Like, I feel like you're distant from me. Yeah. It's like, I feel like Jayla, I don't know what she is on this season. Like, yeah,
I can see that protecting her peace.
Yeah, like I feel like she's still cool with them, but she's trying to distance herself a little bit,
right,
from the both of them because it's just like too much.
Mm-hmm.
But then she goes on to say how she didn't like how Fauna didn't say anything. I mean, how she didn't say anything when Fauna was like getting crazy with her.
Oh yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like what is Jayla gonna say? But then again, like Jayla has always been the one to come for Natalie's battles. Like I've seen it time and time again. So you can see that Jayla is pulling back.
That's true.
She's pulling back and Natalie sees that and feels it. And that's why she's upset. But like there's been many times where Natalie didn't have Jayla's back. And I think Jayla has seen that now. And she's like, I'm just going to respectfully, quietly pull back. And that's it.
And she's just here for a check.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
And then you feel that. And it's like, with Natalie, it's weird because you sit there and you complain about fake friends that want to use you and industry friends, but you do the same thing because that's how it works in the industry, right? You need leverage. You need this. You need that. You need to always one-up someone to protect yourself. So it's like, how can you even have real friends? At this point, like Tommy said, you too grown for friends now. It's done.
That's crazy.
It's done. We too grown for friends, for making new friends and all that. Because in this cutthroat industry that they're in, what's a fucking friend? I don't know what a fucking friend is.
Not in that niche. Not in that fields of work.
No, not in that fields of work. So I don't
like
know
you
why,
could be at a certain tax bracket and still have good friends, but not in that field specifically. That field specifically.
They gotta be your day ones though. You talking about new friends?
What's her name? Her husband's name?
Jacob.
That's her day one.
She knows. She knows that's her
Before
day
all
one.
the bullshit.
That was definitely her day one.
That's it.
That's why she not leaving that man,
exactly.
Yo. She not leaving that man. So Natalie goes on to say that she thinks all of the girls are weird for wanting to be around Diamond and like talk to Diamond and talked about how she took off the Baddies chain on live or whatever. Nobody checked her about it. Like, that's not weird to you, which I think is interesting. I'm like, you're trying to create like a cult mentality around baddies. It almost feels like.
She even said, what is this baddies gang we have or something like that. And I was like,
yeah, but that is...
Baddies gang?
That's a psychological tactic, especially when doing sales. You create a cult-like following. That's literally what she's doing.
Well, I know. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's it. Because why the fuck are you trying to tell them that they need to check her and run and jump because she snatched the Baddies chain off?
Mind you, that wasn't filming. There was no filming on that. That was a booking that DTB had with her record label that she signed on to. Yeah. I remember that them giving her a bigger chain and then she ripped out the Baddies chain.
Yeah.
But like, when you talk about it, it goes back to like the things you have to be like, I don't know. The things that are freaky when you sit back and you take yourself out of the entertainment perspective of it and you really look at the psychological manipulation that occurs on the show. Going back to the Biggie you punish, you set Biggie up, you put her through high stress, you set her up. That's not a good company. However, the company is still good in your eyes because with that, we also give you more opportunities. We also do this. So you start to associate these negative things with bigger compensations. So you allow these things to happen.
Yeah.
Same thing with the baddies chain, right? We talked about this recently about uniform and how in psychology, when you wear a uniform, it makes you feel a part of something.
Yeah.
And it changes the way you think and act based on the uniform. And that goes the same thing with the baddies.
And the chain.
Right? It makes you a part of something. So like when you mention cult-like stuff, cult-like behavior, and her saying baddies gang.
Yeah.
What do gangs have? They have colors that they all wear, right? They stick together. There's that loyalty despite the fucked up shit that goes on in between.
That's a cult.
Freaky, bro.
That's that cult shit.
Freaky.
Okay, Yellow Jackets. If anyone has seen Yellow Jackets, you know what the fuck we talking about. If you haven't, go watch it. Go look it up. Period. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So then Natalie goes on to talk to Tavii, changes the subject, says that she doesn't like how Fauna spoke to Tavii.
Yo, you could tell Tavii in this moment did not want to talk about it.
Know.
She was like,
I know, bro. This whole scene had me weak because then you got Big Lex talking about,
bro,
where this part. No, because Big Lex really fixed him up and was like, were y'all just friends or more than friends?
The audacity,
right?
Audacity.
It makes me wonder if she knows something. Because remember when we made that clip and we were like, oh, does Fauna want to try something with Lex? Because why would she say, bitch, me too? She want to be next or what that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And Tavii reposted that. She saw our reel and reposted it. Why would Tavii repost that about us inquiring if Fauna wants Lex to eat her cat? Why would Tavii repost that?
Wow, I totally forgot she did that.
And then I remember prior episodes, I remember hinting or insinuating that imagine like Lex and Fauna, and everybody was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah, this is before Fauna. We found out that Fauna is into girls.
And this was before the Tavii and Fauna situation, and this was before a lot of this, right? Which is really funny. So for Lex to even ask that question, and remember when I inquired, like, imagine it was like, I remember I inquired too, like, did Lex and Fauna, or was there some type of interest? Because I remember Lex said that one of the baddies she regrets that she fell out with was Fauna.
Yeah,
right?
Wow.
I'm just connecting the dots in my head. And now we bringing it back full circle. So now I'm just going to allegedly connect the dots and make up a narrative story right now. This is a fake narrative, okay? This is not real. But I think, right, fake story incoming. I think that behind the scenes, Lex thought Fauna was cute and there was something going on, but Lex thought Fauna was shady, and then they started to have beef after that. Cool. I don't know if they continued to explore the interest. Probably not. But then Fauna and Tavii. Something's going on there too. Lex clearly saw that and knew about it, because why else would Tavii also say on the bus, you wanna suck my son's pussy?
Yeah.
To Lex.
Yeah. Remember
to Lex.
Pointing that out.
Why would Tavii say that on the bus?
Yeah.
Okay. And then now when we talk about Fauna wanting to be next with Lex, Tavii reposted?
Yeah.
Nah.
And then now Lex has an opportunity to call Tavii out, so she want to embarrass her.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of let's be honest shit going on here.
That's what Dolly said.
Bro, that's why Dolly
eating everybody.
That's why Dolly said, I'm indecisive.
Yo,
she didn't even answer because she knows. I feel like everyone knows Lex probably ate her out and they just don't want to say it. So even when Janelle and them said, I don't believe that, I'm like, you guys are lying. Because even Janelle in her confession was like, girl, we get it. We've all had that one person we've hooked up with that we're ashamed about. And I think that's really just what it falls down to.
And I think that if Lex would have just owned it rather than try to make it a differentiation, like, yeah, she did me, not I did her.
Yeah, she was doing too much.
Doing way too much. It's
doing
like, now we're hyper focused on you because why you acting weird?
Right.
Like, you know?
When she jumped at the opportunity to ask if Tavii and Fauna were friends or more than that. Oh my gosh, the light in my head went off because I'm like, why do you care so much? But it was okay.
Or could it be that she cared because she now has the opportunity to embarrass someone else the way she felt embarrassed with Summer?
Exactly. She wanted to take the heat off of her.
Correct.
And you could tell because even when it was going on her too much, she brought up Tavii and Fauna again, which I thought was really funny. But so Tavii says, yeah, she likes girls, but she's never slept or had sex with Fauna. Yeah. I think that she's lying. I don't necessarily think that, listen, my gut, based off of her facial expression, based off of the body language, Tavii was deaf lying. I'm sorry. She was fucking lying. I don't care. The way she did that little smirk when answering the question, I feel like she was lying. Maybe they didn't do the most. Maybe
they made out on a drunk night.
Yeah, maybe they made out, or she probably gave Fauna head.
Oh, we getting detailed.
Or maybe not.
Listen,
maybe they messed around a little bit, copped feels and made out.
Listen.
I don't think it went that far, but I think something definitely happened between Fauna and Tavii.
Yeah, because they're fighting all the time is very interesting. But shout out to you for your gaydar being so precise, so on point that even when the world didn't believe you, aka me.
Well,
it's
also you and everyone else too. It's always been like that. That's the funny part.
But this is all speculation, obviously. At the end of the day, we don't know what the fuck goes on.
Watch it come out after the reunion, and I'm like, wow, how did I just put 2 and 2 together? Oh my God, I'm so smart. Oh my God. Anywho, so then Natalie decides she wants to play Baddies USA.
Yeah.
The game.
The extended version.
This bitch makes up a whole fucking card.
Stupid.
Wasn't even on the card. Talking about choose a baddie on the show that you have fucked or you want to fucking take a shot. And of course, Natalie calls out Lex. Lex is like, I've never fucked any baddie on the cast. Neither do I want to. All this stuff. Why the fuck does Natalie decide? Let me take out my phone and call Summer to confirm this.
Nothing gave me the ick though. Then when Lex literally said something like, I never ate someone up, but she was on her knees.
I was on my toes.
And Shorty lift her leg up so high. Look like, the male dogs when they lifting up their leg. Why you doing that? That gave me the ick, girl. Stop. You doing the most.
Yeah. And I think because of this most energy we're seeing and we're feeling, it's like,
she was drunk, so whatever.
You may have went down on Summer. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge. Maybe other people will, but I'm not gonna judge. Imagine
she really truly didn't and the world just genuinely believed she did. That fucking sucks. We're over here like, bitch, we know you did it. She actually didn't.
That's I don't know. I just feel like the way she's, the way she's going so hard, it's giving those men that want to prove that they're straight so bad, those DL men, it's giving that. And I don't know why, but it's just the way the mannerisms is and the body, just the way she's talking about it. I dominated her. She didn't dominate me. She was on her knees. I wasn't. Girl, calm down.
That's what it was like.
Yeah,
that's what
calm
it felt
down.
Like, why are you doing the leg move?
Yeah.
You ain't gotta do it like that.
I didn't see her do the leg movement.
Yeah, lift it up like this. I'm like,
I did not see that. I did not see that.
Yeah, she,
I was in and out of it. I did not see that shit. But fucking Natalie decides to call Summer to confirm. Mm-hmm. Summer's like, I don't know. You gotta ask Lex. And I'm just like,
that's how you know.
Yeah. At this point, she's done. She's not trying to fight, argue no more. Summer already said that bitch ate my pussy. I feel like what else is there to say at this point?
Exactly.
So now Lex is just going off in the back, right? And Tavii, now they ask, what do you guys think? Jayla said no. Janelle said no, even though her confessional said otherwise. Tavii said it could have been a drunk night, which allows me to believe, did you and Fauna have a drunk night?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you did. I think you did. And then Dolly says, I'm indecisive, which
Yeah.
I'm like, Dolly, you know damn well. I think she knows the answer and she just don't want to say
Well,
it.
that's why she said
That's
indecisive.
why she said, I think I know and I don't even want to fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Dolly's been given this whole time. That was just her whole vibe.
The girls at this point, they take shots.
Yes, they do.
They all
do.
take their shots, and then that's it. And then we go on to the next scene, right? We go on to the next scene.
No, she calls Fauna to confirm.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because Lex turns the situation on Tavii because it was too much heat on her. And she asked if her and Fauna fucked and had sex, right? This is where when Tavii says no, this right here is where I'm like, this feels like a lie and it looks like a lie. Because it's just the way that you responded, the way that you look, something ain't adding up.
Yeah.
So Tavii says no. I think she's lying.
She said, I don't kiss and tell.
Yeah, so then Natalie calls Fauna on FaceTime to ask and confirm.
Fauna was so mad.
She was so mad. She was like
Like, nope.
offended. She was like, I don't roll like that.
She said, I don't fuck my friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She said, I don't roll like that. Da 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 da. And I don't know. This is where you hear Janelle say, even if you did go downtown, Lex, it's okay. It's okay. So now the girls get to the venue to rehearse. And this is where they're also going to be performing at later. So Tank walks in. She was gone for a couple of episodes, didn't even notice. So then the girls fill her in about what happened with Suki and Gretch. Gretch getting maced, all the other girls getting maced, the club getting maced, everything else with Fauna and Tavii.
They spent mad time catching her up.
They spent a lot of time.
It's kind of annoying.
This scene annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene annoyed me. I enjoyed everything else up until this scene. I was
Yeah.
like, do we really need to go over this Fauna and Tavii shit again?
If Tink wasn't here the whole time, then she don't need to know. Like, we don't need to spend 10 minutes of this last few minutes of the episode catching Tink up and rehashing the things we literally just saw recapped over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's interesting because I guess when you are catching your friend up on the tea, y'all talking about the tea, they spend a lot of time doing that. So basically they fill her in on everything she's missed, everything that we already talked about. Then Rolly comes in with the rest of the girls. And as they're talking about the DTB Fauna Tavii situation, Fauna and Tavii start arguing again. This is really dumb. I don't really care. As they're arguing, you could tell Lex is living through this though. Like she's just smiling watching this happen. Even when they were arguing at the other spot with Cole Killer, she was smiling in the back too, mad hard. I'm like, yo, why you smiling so bright? You smiling mad hard watching them fall out right now. What is this about? Then after that, they start actually rehearsing, okay? Tommy shows up. Okay, Biggie's not there at all.
Yeah, because of what happened the night before. They're like, Biggie just needed some time for herself.
So Lemmy brings out Brendan T. Jackson, which I thought was pretty cool. I was like, wow, okay, he's gonna be the host. He's gonna be one of the hosts. That's pretty dope. And Tommy brings her friends in, and this is where, you know, of course, the air gets tense when Tommy comes around, and people see Tommy, and then she's bringing her friends, and nobody's happy about that. So now her and Lex start arguing, and then that's essentially where the episode ends. And we see the preview for the next episode where Tommy and Lex, they fight, they get into it. It seems like it's a Tommy episode, next episode, because everybody fights Tommy. Mariah fights her, Lex also fights her friend, and then Cole Killer fights her.
Yeah.
And then we see the performance, and we don't see nothing else after that. So
Yeah.
hopefully in the next episode, we probably see if they show what the fuck Tommy did.
Exactly. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I did want to add, man, that some of these females could be so dangerous, yo. So you got to watch which female you sleep with for real, because these bitches don't care about you.
No, that's just in general too.
In general, I'm not talking about baddies. I just wanted to say like a general note.
Okay, thank you for dropping your wisdom.
Because because some girls really just like when they get angry, a lot of girls are very petty and will like do shit to like really, 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 really fucking hurt you. And then apologize and be like, I was just mad.
I think, and I would like to rephrase that, not just girls. I think jealous ex-partners, jealous people that you've slept with before, both men and women
100%.
are that type.
Yeah.
You know, to not want to see you happy whenever you see you have your wins, they want to bring you down or whatever.
Yeah. I guess in this situation, I was thinking about Fauna, Tavi, and Big Lex Summer. So my head just went girls. But I mean, yeah, everyone is so true. But I can't stand that. That's why you gotta just be careful, period. Because they're really, even friends, you fall out and they really expose your shit. You're deep. Like, what the fuck? Were we ever friends? Like, I don't think I could ever do that. Even if I'm not friends with someone anymore, I'm not doing that. Even if I'm not with someone anymore, I'm not doing the most, trying to just be fucking extra. Like, I don't know. I'm not bitter. I feel like those people are bitter. So that's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah.
That is the end of the episode. Those are our overall thoughts. Definitely let us know what you guys thought, as you always do. Do you think that Biggie should sue these audience members? I think she should, but I know some of you guys don't really agree fully. But I do. I feel like there needs to be something.
I feel like it would have been cool if it was like, I would have been all right with it had it been an actual outsider, but knowing now that it might have been Tommy's friend, I think it changes the narrative a little bit. I think that goes back to looking at the puppet master himself, and she would never, because she is signed on to the label, and that goes back to the same thing. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about what I had to say earlier about, you know, the whole cult mentality, the psychological abuse, the emotional manipulation, and all the things that, you know, I gets deeper than entertainment. It's deeper, you know, than just what you see. So.
Exactly. I can't believe that's going on with Sky Santana, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
That's why she said that that's the last time, after this season, it's the last time she'll be talking about baddies. Yeah, she's moving on. And if you want to watch Patreon stuff, it'll be on there for like, not recaps, but watching it together. But yeah, it's like that's her livelihood, and she can't afford for that YouTube channel to be taken down.
That's crazy.
Which is why, like I said, what I said, you know, they follow us on Instagram. Zeus Network follows us on Instagram. They see our stuff. They know. That's why it's like, I would love to clip it. And I'm not trying to say that I'm trying to silence ourselves, but the people who listen to the podcast, you'll hear it here.
Let's think about this. They striked her YouTube channel. What makes you think that they don't have people looking on YouTube? Because you're talking about clipping it, but what makes you think that they don't have people looking on YouTube? Which is why it makes me wonder, like, what was so different about Sky Santana's content?
They do, except her channel's just bigger. That's all.
Is it?
Yeah, she's got like 20K.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we're still small enough to say something without feeling, honestly, repercussions.
But I feel like Sky Santana's channel was still small enough too.
It is, but what I'm saying,
why do that? Why go through all that?
Don't ask me.
It's weird.
Don't ask me. It is very weird, but you know how they are.
You really think they do that to us though?
Yes, 100%. They've done it to many creators. At the end of the day, you got to remember something. When you if you watch Diddy The Reckoning, okay, you will see that it's not far-fetched for these powerful companies to silence you, whether you're big or small. The smaller, the easier to bully. That's the difference. We have a strong following for baddie stuff on Instagram. So I feel like here, it's more intimate. On YouTube, it's more still very intimate and private.
You really still don't think they'll have someone sit in and watch or listen to an episode?
I don't think we're there yet, which is fine.
You know what?
It's not a disrespect on ours. It's something to be proud of.
I'm not thinking about it in terms of disrespect. I'm just skeptical, because if you have people that work as Zeus Network commenting on our Instagram clips, and they're commenting on our YouTube videos, you really think there's a ghost, like a ghost watcher or someone that's there or is connected with someone there? I don't think that that's far-fetched.
I mean, it can happen, and when we get a strike.
Scotty's stylist commented on one of our videos because we talked about the shit that happened with him and E.T. We didn't think he was a watcher.
Listen.
We didn't think he was a listener. We didn't think he'd be there. Only reason why he knew, when we spoke about him, that he commented.
You're not understanding. If we clipped that, it would get way more attention on Instagram.
I understand.
Versus here.
I understand.
That's not to say that they don't have ghost people watching, or if there's not people who are in Zeus Network that are watching that can see it, yes. But there is a greater opportunity for them because we have Natalie, none follows us. Tavii follows us. Eli follows us. There's so many people from Zeus Network that follows us, and nobody, none of those people.
The CEO's brother follows
Right.
too.
None of those people are sitting here watching an hour podcast versus a little 30 to 1 minute, clip on Instagram.
Obviously,
Just very
those
different.
people aren't, but you never know who is and reporting back. That's all I'm saying.
I know that.
They don't got time.
And in this internet world, everything is possible. I'm just saying that's the reason why I was saying the clip thing. That's all.
All right. Well, with that being said, y'all know the tea. Shit.
Yeah.
Y'all know a little bit of the tea now. So definitely comment your thoughts. Let us know what you guys think, what you guys disagree with, agree with, whatever the case is. Keep the comments strictly about the show, please, and thank you. And with that being said, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And where can they find you, Tiana?
You guys can find me on Instagram at its.tianalock. You guys can find us on Instagram at
The Petty Headquarters.
You guys can find us on YouTube and all podcast platforms at
The Petty Headquarters.
We're also on Patreon, y'all, at
The Petty Headquarters.
So with that being said,
This was your weekly dose of mess.